This is FIBA Podcast. Thank you for joining us in our morning daily devotion.
How the self can be dethroned and how Christ can be enthroned in our lives. 2 Kings chapter 5 verses 1 to 5. Now in this story we see about this little girl. She was a small girl. We do not know her age. We do not know her name. But she was obviously a small girl, maybe a teenager, young teenager. Now she was from Israel and she was from a good family because this girl was able to answer questions. She was able to speak well. She could take care of herself. So she was obviously from a good home. Now she was working as a slave in the house of Naaman. Naaman was the commander of the army of Syria, and the whole army had gone into Israel and they had raided Israel and had brought back captives. One of the captives that they had brought back was this little girl. So this little girl had come to Syria not by her own choice, but because she was compelled and forced by the army and by Naaman in particular, and now she was working as a slave girl in the house of Naaman. Naaman was a leper. Now for a Jewish girl, it was very difficult for her to come close to a leper. Considering all of this, think of what she should have felt, how she should have reacted, how she should have dealt with the situation. If you and I were in this little girl's place, what would have happened to us? We probably would have grumbled. We probably would have said, "Why did God do this to me? I was comfortable with my family. I was happy in my home. Why did God take me away from my family and bring me to this foreign country?" The slave girl is demonstrating for us a beautiful experience of capturing the space between stimulus and response. We said that we go through stimulus on a daily basis, and for this girl, the stimulus was very, very difficult. She was a slave, she was working in a leper's house. Her response could have been anger, frustration, and all of such kind of emotions. But because she captured that space between stimulus and response, and she said, "God, I want to trust in you, I want to depend on you, and through the power of the Holy Spirit, Lord, you bring about your response through me." What was happening through this girl was that she was showing concern, she was showing love, and she was showing compassion to this family, telling this family that there is a prophet in Samaria who could heal Naaman of his leprosy. She need not have done that. That change and response happened because she captured that space between stimulus and response. Friends, isn't this what is happening to us on a daily basis? Various kinds of stimulus happens. Instead of capturing the space between stimulus and response, we quickly jump from stimulus to response. We get angry, we get upset, we get irritated. We shout at people. We do all kinds of things. We miss out that space. We miss out that opportunity, and we don't depend on God for God to work out His purpose through us. And so there is no healing, there is no transformation that is happening in our lives. When this happened to this girl was changed. So when we capture that space between stimulus and response, the first person to change is us. We begin to change. This little girl was changed. She was transformed. And because she was healed and transformed, the circumstances around her began to change. The family was willing to take her advice very seriously. Because the girl changed, her circumstances changed. The people around her were willing to accept her advice, accept her suggestion and solution. Friends, aren't we so concerned and troubled that people around us must change? We want circumstances must change. But for circumstances to change, I must change. I must be able to capture that space and allow God to work through me.
Dear listener, we are here to stand with you in your time of need. We want to pray with you and for your prayer request. Do you need someone to talk to? We are here for you. Call us or send a message at +91 636 425 2164 +91 636 425 2164. God bless you.